Because I'm not to be with by any of you, including you. Including any of you guys. No, stop that.
Justin Bieber was once the golden boy of pop music, a teen idol discovered on YouTube who quickly rose to global fame. Millions of fans around the world screamed his name, bought his albums, and followed his every move. From the outside, it seemed like Justin had everything: fame, money, talent, and a future filled with endless possibilities. But behind the glamorous life, there was a storm quietly building. The pressure, the fame, the expectations, all of it started to weigh him down. Justin's downfall didn't happen overnight. It was slow, painful, and very public. And as the world watched, the boy who had once been a global sensation started to fall apart, piece by piece. Justin was only 15 when he became famous. Most kids his age were still figuring out who they were, but he was already doing interviews, performing for huge crowds, and traveling around the world. He didn't get a normal childhood. No school dances, no close group of friends, no time to just be a teenager. His life was cameras, tours, managers, and pressure. At first, he seemed to handle it well, but as time went on, cracks started to show. He was overworked, overwhelmed, and under constant judgment. And that's when things started to shift. Slowly, the sweet, charming boy the world had fallen in love with began to act out. The media was quick to point fingers. Every mistake he made was splashed across headlines. He was caught in legal trouble, arrested for DUI, and filmed cursing at paparazzi. He peed in a mop bucket. He egged his neighbor's house. He was late to concerts, stormed off stages, and got into fights. Some fans stayed loyal, but others began to turn away. Justin seemed lost, like he was crying out for help in the only way he knew, through chaos.
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they loved me, and I think that I was just, living in this shame, living in all this sort of stuff of my past, and I wasn't able to move on.
But instead of getting support, he was mocked, judged, and criticized. The fame that once made him feel special was now eating him alive. Behind the scenes, Justin was struggling even more. He opened up later about how he started using drugs to cope. At one point, he said he felt like he couldn't get out of bed in the morning. He was taking heavy substances, and his mental health was falling apart. He even admitted that he felt like he wanted to die. The smiling boy from the Baby music video was now broken, confused, and trapped in a world that no longer felt safe. He felt like a product instead of a person. He had millions of fans, but felt completely alone. His relationships didn't help much either. His on and off romance with Selena Gomez made headlines for years. At first, fans loved seeing them together, but eventually, the constant drama and heartbreak became too much. Selena later admitted their relationship had been emotionally abusive. Meanwhile, Justin was trying to keep up a perfect image while his real life was falling apart. The world was watching him fall, and no one seemed to care enough to help him stop. Even when he tried to get back on track, it wasn't easy. After taking a break from music, Justin tried to return with a new image. He got married to Hailey Baldwin and started talking more about his faith and his healing process. But it didn't fix everything. He still struggled with health issues like Lyme disease and chronic anxiety. He still had people online tearing him down every time he posted something. Fame didn't disappear, it just changed shape. And even now, it sometimes seems like Justin is trying to keep it all together with fragile threads. The pressure to be perfect never really went away. In the public eye, every move Justin made was either praised or judged. He couldn't make mistakes without it being a scandal. And that kind of life wears on someone. It messes with your sense of self-worth. It's hard to trust anyone. It's hard to know what's real. For someone like Justin, who became famous so young, it was nearly impossible to separate his true identity from the persona the world expected him to be. That confusion only deepened his struggles. When Justin started opening up more about his pain, some people began to understand. He posted emotional messages on Instagram, wrote songs about his inner battles, and gave interviews about his past mistakes. He talked about wanting to be a better husband, a better man, a better person. But healing isn't linear.
Look at poor Justin Bieber. How many of these kids do we have to watch grow up? How many times are we just gonna sit there? Don't nobody wanna believe, that's all right. All I can say is follow the white rabbit.
I feel funny. Is this real life?
Yes, this is real life.
I feel crazy.
Some days he seemed happy and hopeful. Other days, he looked distant, tired, and disconnected. Fans could see it in his eyes. Fame had taken its toll, and the scars were still visible. There's also the question of the people around him. In the early days, Justin was surrounded by managers and executives who were focused on his brand more than his well-being. He didn't have space to grow. Everything was scheduled, controlled, and focused on making money. As he got older, he had to unlearn a lot of that. He had to learn how to say no, how to protect himself, how to find real friends who weren't just there for the perks. That kind of growth takes time, especially when you've been in the spotlight your entire life. Even now, some fans feel like Justin isn't the same. He rarely performs live anymore. He's canceled shows, taken long breaks, and even disappeared from social media for months. When he does appear, he often seems withdrawn. People wonder if he still loves music or if the industry has drained him. Some blame his marriage, others blame his past.
I don't know if y'all seen, but Justin Bieber posted a series of videos with him pretty much wilding out on Instagram. And completely looking like he's having like a mental breakdown. Now here's my thing. Mental health is real. People struggle with mental health issues every single day. You probably have somebody in your family that's dealing with that. I hate to see people that are struggling like they're mental, and this man is basically crying out for help. From the way that he's acting online, this man is basically crying out for help. And here's my thing. What I've learned about in life is everybody's David and Goliath ain't the same. What's big for me might be small to you, and what's small to me just might be big for you. So I learned to always give people grace, because you never know what people are going through. And I just hate to see it. I've been a fan of Justin Bieber since a kid. I'm admit I was a fan, and I know many of you are too. I hate to see it. I hate to see anybody. This also reminds me of when Chadwick Boseman was losing weight and people thought that he was using drugs. And the reality is that, no, he had cancer. And so again, you never know what people are going through. You got to pray for them. It goes for your family, your friends, and etc. because you never, ever know. Y'all let me know. How do y'all feel about this? Have y'all seen those videos? You know.
But maybe the truth is simpler. Justin is tired. He's been through a lot. And maybe he's still healing. It's easy to look at celebrities and assume they have perfect lives. But Justin Bieber's downfall shows us that fame doesn't protect you from pain. In fact, it can make everything worse. He was just a kid when the world put him on a pedestal. And when he started to fall, people laughed instead of helping. He's made mistakes, but he's also shown resilience. He's still trying, he's still here. And maybe that's what matters most. Justin's story is a warning, a reminder of how dangerous fame can be when it comes too fast, too young, and with too many strings attached. It's also a story of survival. Despite everything, he's still fighting for his peace, for his voice, for his future. And while his downfall was public and painful, his journey isn't over. He still has a chance to write a new chapter, one that isn't about fame or failure, but about finding real happiness. Whether or not he ever returns to the spotlight in full force, one thing is clear. Justin Bieber is more than just a pop star. He's a human being who faced the darkest sides of fame and is still learning how to heal. His downfall hurt him deeply, but it also taught the world a lesson. Sometimes the people who shine the brightest are the ones suffering the most. And sometimes what they need isn't more applause or judgment, but just a little bit of understanding.